Razor 94.7 104.7.
Well, hello, guys. From Atreyu. How's it going? We got Travis, we got Porter. I'm Decker, and that's Big Jake up in the corner. We are doing a month of mental health awareness where we want to, talk to our friends in the industry and guys that are kind of like us, where we've gone through a lot but we find solace in music, and we want to talk about our journeys through mental health. Maybe there was a time where we realized, like, hey, maybe I should do something about it. So let's talk about it. Let's Porter, man, what's it been like for you? How's life?
Um, Overall, at the moment, life is excellent. As per this topic, I mean, uh, how do I even begin this? It's such like there's so much wrapped into this moment, but
Yeah.
this discussion. But like, I don't know, every single day for me is a struggle. Every single interaction with another human, every single time I leave the house, every single time if I'm on tour, I get out of the bunk to start the morning, it's a hurdle for me. Sometimes it's a hurdle, and maybe it's like a little one, like a child athlete size hurdle, but sometimes it's a fucking mountain. But legitimately, like every day and every moment for me has mental hangups and things that I need to get over. And my, I don't know, like teenage years were really fucking tough. College years were a little bit better, but it's just because you drink a lot.
Mhm.
And then, the first years of touring with this band, like joining the band as well, I joined in 2004 and they'd already been doing it for so long. And, you know, that group of people, their sense of humor was like, you poke fun at each other, just as most group of, the male species do. Like, and so it was really fucking hard for me every day. It was really fun. I mean, I was having the time of my life playing these shows, and I love them, of course, then and now, but it's was still really fucking hard on my mental. And did I just say on my mental? But anyways, um, so I think about, for the last 2 decades, I've been an avid meditator. And it is the single most important thing that I can do to help me on these daily battles, in these things, to conquer my anxieties or at least lessen them, and to make everything a small child-sized athlete hurdle and not a mountain. You know what I mean? So I meditate twice a day, every day now, and I have for the last 5 years. And before that, I learned when I was 16 years old how to meditate with a soccer coach, in Southern Alabama, which is a whole nother story. And I feel like I'm talking a lot already, but that's how I conquer it. And that's how I make it easy to go about and be the best version of myself. Like, I know a lot of people think I'm this like happy, positive guy that always sees the bright side of things and is always trying to encourage, but like, took me 20 fucking years to be that. And it took me battling the depths of the polar opposite and seeing the worst in every fucking moment all the time to be like, I don't want to be that human. And every day as a struggle to be the positive person, because I've seen a group of shitty negative humans, not Atreyu, I'm just saying in general, like, and I don't want to be that. And I don't want to be a part of that. So I make a conscious choice every fucking day to try and see the good side of things, to try and see the world through, kindness, and see the interactions with humans, and good or bad. I'm trying to see it being like, what were they thinking? Why did they come to this? Maybe they're not actually mad at me, or maybe they're just miserable in their own shell. And I know what that feels like. So I'm going to let this slide. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that doing
For a long time, so.
meditation, I mean, that gives you so much patience to be able to, like, you like see within your mind. And that's something that I'm struggling with, where like I feel like I need to get into meditation in order to really come to grips with some things. I have the same anxieties, but then also when people talk to us, they're like me and Big Jake, people talk to us and they're like, oh my God, you guys are so fun, you're so nice, all this other stuff. But like, it's really hard to be that.
Yeah.
And it's mentally exhausting some days.
Daily, it's really, really
To be
challenging.
on. to have to be this persona in other people's eyes. I get that.
Right. And so as someone that I'm trying to get into meditation, so like what do you do? Like I don't really know like any, just a basic thing, like what
Well, let me be clear in saying that meditation is not the same thing for everyone.
Mhm.
Some people's meditation, like mine, I like to sit in quiet, maybe have some music, like some meditation sort of music on, and I enjoy that stillness. But I've learned over the years I could do it in the middle of a fucking party on the bus, and I could still meditate through that. But to some people, meditation is playing a guitar, playing a video game, going for a walk, going on the bike. It's whatever. You got to find what version of that works for you. So that's your own path and your own journey. I can say that there is an app called Headspace that's free. They have some very, very, I mean, there's a paid version of it too, but the very basic stuff can give you a way to switch your thinking about meditation, because a lot of people think meditation is like you got to still the mind, and if you don't do that you're a failure. It's like, no. I mean, like I said, I've been doing it since I was 16 years old, and it's just constant nonsense. It's like they had a great description in that app, the when I used it a little bit, to see like you're sitting overlooking a very, very busy freeway, like 8 lanes of traffic, 4 on each side, and you're sitting on the hill, and you're not looking and trying to figure out who each person in each car is. And if you do that, you're going to drive yourself insane. So like every thought, you're not like, what does this thought mean? What does this thought mean? What does this thought? You just sit back and you enjoy the show. You watch the cars, you watch the flow of traffic, you maybe enjoy the clouds around it, and you enjoy the setting and the scenes. You know what I mean? So you kind of let the clouds pass, you let the cars pass, and you just enjoy it. And you don't get hung up on every single moment. That's my main advice I could give, I guess.
That is great advice, because there's a lot of times that we overthink things. And I think another thing you brought up, when you were talking about, joining the band in '04, and how, we as the male species, or gender or whatever,
Yeah, I'm not
we
sure if species was right when I said it.
whatever, it's words. But we had to set boundaries, I'm sure you had to like be like, hey guys, it's all good fun, but like that actually, I'm not cool with that. Like I
And it
need
took
you
me
to,
a while to be able to do that. You
yeah,
know, I was a
that's
new guy. I didn't want to speak up, and then they'd be like, "This guy fucking sucks," and kick me out of the band or whatever. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, it's so hard. And both me and Big Jake are new here at the building. And like one thing that I've been like, hey, I really need to set boundaries so you
Mhm.
don't overwork yourself. You don't put yourself into a tizzy over something. But like it's all about setting boundaries. And I'm almost 33, and setting boundaries has been something that I think I learned when I was 31. I
Mhm.
had no idea what I was doing. I was
It's
just letting
important.
people, yeah, you just let people do whatever they want, because why would I want to stop someone from doing that if like I want to do it?
But also, take a look at the people in your life that are causing you to feel like you need to set boundaries. Are they shitty humans?
True.
And if they are, I mean, workplace is different. That's tough. But if they're shitty humans that you've chosen to have in your life, get out of here.
Yeah.
There's no, if they don't uplift you and bring you some sort of like make you a better human with their interaction or conversation, or they inspire you to be better, fuck them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. uh Travis, I want to bring you in on this conversation, and see where you're at with your journey, and what kind of tactics to get through a day do you participate in?
Yeah, for me, over the years, I've come to realize that not every day is going to be awesome. I'm not going to be floating on cloud nine 24/7. That being said, um, the opposite is also true. Not every day is going to be bad, and things will get better. Um, Nothing stays the same. Life has its push and pull. It has its ups and downs. Um, it's ebb and flow, and I think that's kind of what I mean. That's just the quote unquote journey of life. There's so many different things that happen in your lifetime. Some good, some bad, some are just whatever. And I think I've kind of taught myself to just kind of roll with the punches. You know, some days I wake up feeling great and I can take on the day no matter what it throws at me. And other days I wake up just feeling like shit and I have no idea why. And, you know, so I just end up in a negative space and I hate everything and I complain. But then I kind of have to stop and, you know, kind of reassess everything and remind myself that these times, whether good or bad, do not last forever. It could change next week. It could change tomorrow. It could change 2 hours from now. So yeah, you just kind of have to learn how to roll with the punches. And yeah, kind of like touching on what Porter was saying earlier, just taking time for yourself, whether it's an hour, half hour, 15 minutes, 10, what, you know, whatever it is, to just kind of, I guess, clear your head in a way, which, you know, through either, you know, meditation, and, you know, what Porter was saying before, like video, like I'm a video game player. And for me, like, I realize that is a form of meditation for me, to just kind of turn my brain off for, you know, 15, 20 minutes, an hour. I realized that, you know, turning my brain off definitely helps, because when my brain gets going, that hamster in that wheel just starts spinning and it does not stop until I try to get a hold of it. And sometimes I can't. I actually have a hard time with meditation because I can't get that fucking hamster to stop, you know, sometimes.
Never will.
Right, yeah. And again, I realize that, and I've come to accept it. That's just the way my brain works. I can't completely change the way I think or the way I feel. It's kind of out of my hands, but I can do certain things to, I guess, alleviate the stress of it all, or just, you know, simply take a break from it. And, you know, like I said, video games, movies, playing guitar, exercising, you know, anything you can do to just kind of get a better grasp on that fucking hamster.
Right. It's crazy that, like, you don't think of, like, well, maybe I don't think, like, you don't think your mind is like a physical thing, but I mean, it occupies a physical space within a physical space. This is getting metaphorical. I don't know what's going on.
Just do it, man. You're good.
Yeah, we'll just roll with it. But like doing the physical thing, you know, to make the rest of your body feel good, that exercise, or the video games, how long or when was it that you were like, there it is. That's the idea. That's the thing that I need to do daily? Or is it's for me, it's ever changing, that like some days I need to just sit in silence, and other days I need the loudest music in my face while I'm doing 3 other things. Like, what is it that, was there an aha moment for you, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
For me, I don't think there was a one specific moment where it just clicked. I think it was just over the year, probably for me more recently, like from my 30s now into my 40s, you know, because my 20s, you know, I was kind of living with abandonment, like we all were in our 20s. You know, you don't really care about your mental well-being. You just kind of want to like live life to its fullest.
Mhm.
Then once that starts to wind down, you kind of take other things into perspective, like your mental health, or where you are as an adult in this world. So I think for me, it was just a matter of growing up. And in our line of work, there is most definitely an extended adolescence. You know, we more obviously more so when, you know, when we were younger, but I mean, we got away with like acting like children, like way past the point where we should have been like being grown adults. But that just kind of comes with the territory. So now that you know, with age comes wisdom, or at least I like to think so. I'm not, most definitely not the wisest man on earth, but I'm definitely wiser than I was before.
I think a big part for me was realizing and learning to not let what happens around me dictate how I feel, and making that choice to be like, see the shitty situation not as a shitty situation, but find a way to solve it or a way to figure it out. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, we have the choice of how we react to the things that happen to us. Do you learn from it? Do you grow from it? Or do you just be like, man, this fucking sucks, and let yourself go into that deep fucking darkness and wormhole of that? You know, you can, every situation is a choice. You have a choice to react to everything that happens to you, good or bad, and use it to your advantage. And once I started thinking with that perspective, life got a lot easier.
Real quick, that's something that's very interesting to me, and it's, you know, personally something that I still struggle with, is mindset on certain situations and reactions. You know, I'll find myself a lot of times, a situation that's out of my control, fully out of my control, I'll let it affect me. What are some of the steps that you took in order to kind of help change your mindset? Because I've personally tried to do that, but it's something that I still struggle with to this day. So what are some things that you do to help change your mindset?
I mean, it all goes back to meditation for me. That
Yeah.
gives me, it allows me to go to the well of myself and to be the best version of myself when I enter the world, you know? But it's just it's awareness. It might not always happen. It might not, you know, even if like someone keys your car and you get into this fucking, you're like, how the fuck could you, what the fuck? And it's ruining your day. But 3 hours later, you're like, why am I letting this happen? You know what I mean? It's just awareness that it's happening. The more you're aware of it, the easier it is to stop it in the moment. The easier it is to just see it and be like, that guy must be in a real bad mood. I have insurance. Oh, well. You know what I mean? As an example. So I think it's just awareness. And then doing those things for yourself on a consistent basis that help you get in the best headspace to go to battle every day. You know, like Travis said, exercise is a really big one. When I exercise, even if it's 15 minutes of some silly lifting weights thing or whatever, I feel better about myself. I think that is like proven fucking science, that it releases something and you just feel better. So I think, you know, meditation and exercise and taking time for yourself with reading, video games, whatever, really do affect how you exist in the world, in your interactions, and your ability to deflect those negative situations and embrace the positive ones.
Yeah, I tend to freak out irrationally over things that I can't control or things that are out of my hands. And I think over the past few years, I've realized that I'm now aware of that, the things that I can or can't control. And the things I can't control, I literally just have to say, fuck it. I can't change it. Bitching and whining about it is not going to change anything. In fact, if anything, it's just going to put me in a shittier mood.
It will.
So, you know, and I'm still, you know, because I'm inherently I don't want to say a pessimistic person, but I definitely a bit of a cynic. Porter can attest to this. You know, I hope for the best, but I kind of just innately expect the worst. And I've been like that ever since I was a little kid. It kind of developed as like a defense mechanism to not get my hopes up about anything. That way, if things do work out, I'm that much more stoked. If they don't work out, well, then I'm not surprised because I didn't have my hopes up to begin with, which has served me well in the past, but in other ways, it kind of it has an adverse effect, because if you're just kind of walking around thinking everything bad is going to happen, it's not really a life worth living, just being bummed out about everything all the time. So I constantly have to remind myself to be aware of the things that I can or can't control. And in regards to things I can't control, fuck it, I can't do anything about it. Let's move on, or try to fix the problem, or whatever I need to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just a matter of acknowledging the fact if you can or cannot control something. I think that's a huge thing.
Yeah. I'm not a therapist by any way, shape, or form, but I guess with your statement of like expecting the worst and then if something good happens, cool. I think wouldn't the ultimate goal for all of us then should be the opposite of like, I'm expecting the best to happen and all the time. Good things are happening because I'm in that mind space, right? I'm in a better space. I'm seeing the world in a better way. And then when bad things happen, it's like we discussed before, you're just like, bad thing happened. Oh, well. Like, I guess that you made a good point of like that. Is that our goal? Is that like a mission that we could try to like connect to?
Yeah, that is a very insightful thought. That's and look, we're talking about this, and we've already like we're finding ways that our own perceptions of things can be changed just by talking it out. And I sent out an email asking people if they wanted to do these interviews, and you guys were one of the first people to jump on and wanting to talk about it. And I want to know why you thought it was so important to talk about your mental health and just mental health in general.
You want to go first? Me?
Like, I've mental health issues run in my family, and I remember growing up as a teenager, never feeling comfortable in my own skin, and just kind of like I didn't realize what that was at the time, until in hindsight is always 2020. Well, it's because I was a teenager. Everybody feels uncomfortable when they're a teenager, but then I realized that I'm a sensitive person, and sometimes you don't really wear that on your sleeve. Nobody wants to nobody ever wants to like hold up a sign that says, "Hi, I'm a fragile soul." It's just something as humans I don't think we really do. But in this day and age, I think that stigma has been lifted a little bit. I think the world in general as a whole is it's a safer space, for lack of a better term, to talk about these things, because I think everybody over the past few years has realized that mental health is an extremely important thing. Whereas, like our parents' generation and the generations before that, like especially dudes, we don't talk about our feelings. We don't let people know that we're scared, or we don't have our shit together, or it's just not how it was. But I think luckily nowadays that overall image of mental health, it's a little bit more, like I said, it's a safer space to talk about it and to feel comfortable talking about it with other people.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, and that being said, there's podcasts now, there's different websites, different groups, social media. I think for the one good thing about social media, because there's obviously plenty of negative shit about social media, but the one good thing is that like people can connect if they're feeling down or feeling depressed or trying to deal with anxiety. It's in this day and age, it's the easiest it's ever been to connect with like-minded people who may have gone through the same thing that you're going through or are going through the same thing that you're going through. And it's as easy as sending somebody a message to kind of compare notes as to what they're going through at that time.
Yeah, I think for myself, as I started this conversation with, I'm someone that struggles with it every day, and I've found a way. I found my way to, and I'm still every day learning. I still read tons of books. I still watch tons of things. I still use the resources like Travis is just saying, like social media is great and there's tons of talks you can listen to and it's whatever, and get other people's paths and try them and see if they work for you. But I think, like, I would say in the last 5 years, my goal, it's a weird one and it sounds kind of lame, but like, I want every interaction I have with someone for them to leave feeling better about themselves. Do you know what I mean? I want to uplift every person I interact with for the most part. I want to try and be that person that helps lift humanity instead of the other way around. So I enjoy talking about these sort of things because I've been struggling with it since I was 14 years old. You know what I mean? And so I want to share my path and any sort of advice that I can give because it may help. It may not. Some people might think I'm a fucking idiot, and that's fine. But it may help that one person, and that's pretty cool. You know? So I'll take any chance I can get it. And I'll use this quote unquote platform that we have or whatever by being in a band that for some reason someone sees this link and thinks they liked Becoming the Bull and they want to hear what we have to say. So why not? You know?
I think it's really great that you guys, that both of those ideas are so important to be said out loud, because we are currently in a time where there's a lot of shift, there's a lot of societal shift, there's a lot of ideological shift in the world where, it is okay. Like you said, we don't wear a big sign on ourselves that says, "Be careful, I'm fragile." I want that on a t-shirt, to be perfectly honest. I would wear that every day. But like, yeah, like big dudes, like metal guys, we're not supposed to be like, yeah, I get anxious going to the grocery store because what if I run into someone that I know and then I have to tell them why I'm at the grocery store, like who hasn't been awake for 7 hours at night wondering about that. But it's important to talk about this out loud. So I want to say thank you to you guys for being open to talk about this and talk about your struggles and your solutions as well.
Yeah. Honestly, like I said,
Yeah.
it's my pleasure.
Yeah, glad to help.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for your time. Big Jake's going to see you guys in June. He's looking forward to that. So,
Oh
You
yeah.
don't care about us? You don't want to see us?
I'm going to Gwar and I'm going to get sacrificed on stage at Gwar. So, that
Good.
There's one excuse that could be had.
Weigh the
Yeah.
options there.
I
Yeah.
figured so. I
Got
figured
it.
that'd be okay.
Good save. Good
Yeah.
save.
Yeah. So,
I'll
we'll
party with you guys. It's
yeah,
gonna be
there you
good.
go. Yeah. But I'm sure we'll see you guys around soon. And thanks again for the talk.
Thank you
Right
all.
on.
All the best.